You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are champs. Yeah. Roll south to Freedom Park, rockin' pink and black. Official tissue in the 305, bounty full of grapes. The Battered Fan with Chris and Dan dropping hot takes. Messi and the Herons start the season with a star on the crest. So 29 fan bases can cry, cause we the best. Sign homegrowns like Noah, Frey and Ruiz, replacing goats with greats. Yeah, Miles got the cheese and he called it. Freedom to dream was the backbone. From Lockhart to Miami, it feels good to be at home. Multiple times a week on YouTube and audio. Take the time to subscribe, like and share the show. So check and chat, grab your MLS cup and coming. No question about it, I'm ready to get a star again.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 533 of the Battle Heroes podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I have my son yelling something in the background, and I'm ready to rock and roll, Papa.
I said we got a midweek matchup. Messi made some history on Saturday. The team doesn't look consistently. Our DP suck. You know, it's just things are just going great.
And now I guess we're not protecting Messi enough. Like if Messi needs more protecting. Remember, that's what Guillermo Hoyo said, that we have to protect Messi. We need to protect him at all costs.
I'm not even sure what that meant.
Yeah, I don't even get it.
Those don't know what we're talking about. Hoyos in the post game after we win 4-2, instead of talking about how we look like a disaster the last 15 minutes of the game, he decided to go on a spiel about how we need to protect Messi.
Oh. I mean, what a mess. What a mess. I mean, why do we have to protect him?
It's a given.
I guess. As a weirdo.
All right, and shout out to Francisco with the kit knowledge. Yes, absolutely. El Tino Asprilla. All right. We got Cincinnati on Wednesday. And honestly, I forgot that there was a Wednesday game. I forgot to hit up the guys over at Cincy Soccer Talk because I just forgot that there was a midweek game this week. So hit them up very late, and they were gracious enough to help us out. And Jeff, which has joined us in the past, is going to join us today. So without further ado, let me bring Jeff onto the screen. What's going on, Jeff? How are you doing, sir?
513, folks. How you doing?
Great. Why do they call you the Queen City when Charlotte's really the Queen City?
No. I think it's all territorial. I mean, they think they're the Queen City of the Eastern Coast. We think we're the Queen City of the Midwest. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the end. It was a draw. So, like, you know, who cares who's the Queen City? I mean, you can go up to Toronto and they'll be like, we're the Queen City. And you look at their nicknames. Yeah, they're a Queen City up there as well. It doesn't really matter in the end.
You blew my mind. I had no idea. This is like just a regular term just gets thrown around then, huh?
Something like that. I think they were like, I don't know French very well, but it was like the Via du Reina or something. I don't know. I
believe you.
Yeah. But anybody can call themselves the Queen City. It's how you practice it. It's how you preach it. And anybody can be a Queen City. We're just the best at it.
Okay. I'm sorry, because I didn't want to get off on a tangent, but what the hell does it mean to be a Queen City?
I think it's just, you know, you take pride and, you know, you feel like you're royalty. You feel like you're coming from, you know, you're coming from, you know, bloodlines that are meant to be, you know, in the stratosphere. I really don't know, man. I mean, I wish I had more discussion about this with the people that have the history in their veins. And
I give you the heads up, though. This is going to be the conversation. I'm sorry. It was just a random thought to get in my head.
It's just what you name it. That's all.
Let me just toss this in there, Jeff, just to water it down a little more. According to Google, there are over 40 U.S. cities and towns that use the nickname Queen City, along with Charlotte and Cincinnati being the top two. You have Buffalo, New York, Bangor, Maine.
I mean, shout out to
Denver,
Maine.
Colorado, Burlington. First of all, Maine does look pretty. Burlington, Vermont, and Manchester, New Hampshire. The original term refers to the second largest city in the state, or the largest city that is not the state capital. Now you know.
Oh, the more you know.
I can see that, but I also like, hey, you go with what brought you
There's
here.
3 towns in Alabama named Queen City. Get the hell out of here. Let's move on.
All right. So Cincinnati, they had a rough start to the year.
Sneakily
They look
good,
like-
by the way, Danny. Cincinnati,
Yeah.
sneakily good.
And you know
Mhm.
what? And
A
I
team.
think that Denke, in my opinion, didn't have the best first year. I thought I was expecting a little more, but I think because Latte Lath was so terrible, I think it definitely helped out because those two kept getting compared to each other. Evander I thought started a little slow this year. He's picked it up. Also had a beautiful little chip shot when Charlotte just fell asleep. Didn't want to close in on him. What's going on with Cincinnati so far this year? Because I feel like it's been a tale of 2 quarters.
Versions.
Two, maybe sixths or something like that.
Yeah,
Not to get all
7.5.
math on people, but
Right.
we're a third of the season in. So if you split that in half, you've got a sixth and a sixth. I don't know. It's 16%, whatever.
Yeah.
I really think that the way that they came out, they had visions of trying to do their best with the CCC. I think they felt that this was their best opportunity, that they've had Evander and Denke together for their second year. They had a lot of their talent, staying put. They didn't get rid of a lot of the bigger pieces. Probably the biggest piece they got rid of was probably Yuya Kubo. And he was big just because he fits so many different locations coming off the bench. I feel that they saw the early season being their opportunity to get under the skin of a Liga MX team. And unfortunately, you got 1 foot in, you got the 3-0 win at home, and then you go on the road and you just get torched. We had that one great shot, that one header that Denke gave us life with, and then we gave it up last second of the game. And I think that's really where we put our eggs in a lot of the basket there. We thought that we were going to get through the CCC relatively unscathed, and now we're backpedaling. We lost some early games against teams that we shouldn't have lost against. Toronto won 1-0 at home. That didn't look good. We got pummeled by the likes of New England and Red Bull on the road. It was a team that I think was ready for a certain direction. They just could not get in that direction. And now that that's done, they don't have to worry about the Open Cup. They don't have to worry about Leagues Cup just yet. They're starting to put things together. They've got a talented team. They've got a defense that needs to get healthy, but they've also got pieces that they've been able to find locations for. Andre Chirilla on left center back has been a revelation for us. The likes of Samuel Gidi and Dado Valenzuela in the middle have been doing a lot of lifting for us. We've got a young team in certain areas that are starting to find where they belong. And I think that's why you're starting to see a 6-game streak where they haven't lost.
Yeah, and then
I want to mention something real quick. I wanted to mention because in our MLS show, I've been listening to a lot more podcasts aside from just Inter Miami fandom, and the one thing I picked up a lot on in Cincy's soccer talk world is that there's a lot of like ebbs and flows in terms of like the formation and stuff like that. Hasn't been too concrete as far as some of the personnel playing. Has there been sort of a difficulty in terms of like Cincinnati getting things in order and the right people in the right places?
I think with Cincinnati, their issue has been health. I mean, they had a game where Miazga, Haglund, Robinson, their big experienced 3 were all out with knocks or with long-term issues that they were coming back from. Ooh. And then you had, within the same game, we lost Teenage Hadebe, we lost Alvis Powell, both who had been dependable for the spot start in the center back. They went down in the same game as well. So you're looking at the likes of Kyle Smith, the likes of Samuel Gidi, the likes of Andre Chirilla, starting these games where they really were not ready to be in those locations. And so the reason they haven't been able to find
that
a
makes
starting
a lot of sense.
11, the reason they haven't been able to find a starting 11 is because they haven't been healthy. And finally, they're starting to get healthy. Miazga had about 60 minutes the other day, replaced by Miles Robinson, who's now healthy. Haglund is back to playing 90 minutes. They're back, they're healthy, and they're starting to figure out where things work. And one of the surprises is, for example, on the right wing area, we didn't expect the likes of Pavel Buka, our number 8, to find success in that area. We weren't expecting to see our draft pick from a few years ago, Kenji Mbamadem, start up next to Denke up top. We weren't expecting a lot of these things, and yet they're starting to work. The big thing, though, is that we need to start turning some of these draws into wins. And that comes for having guys come off the bench and giving you their best efforts. Hopefully we can get that sometime soon.
Yeah, because you guys are pretty straight. I mean, I don't know if average is the word, but you're 4-4-4. That's literally the record.
Right in the middle.
So it's right down the middle. 4 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws.
It's a trap game, Danny.
Oh God! And then Evander is waking up, because I really did think that he had a slow start to the year, but he's been picking it up also. Denk has been playing well. He's leading the team with 7 goals. Evander's right behind them with 6 goals. I don't know. How are you feeling about Celentano this year? Because I've been hearing mixed reviews about Celentano this season.
Celentano's had good games. I think he's experiencing the same issues that you've got with like the likes of Chris Brady up in Chicago. The likes of Dane St. Clair with Miami, is that these are talented goalkeepers. They're going to get shortlisted in terms of being on their prospective national teams.
National teams.
I mean, St. Clair, I think, is a lock to make the World Cup. Celentano is just on the outskirts. I don't think he's going to get in, but he has the talent to get in there the next cycle. It comes down to, I think, the defense ahead of him and who is in charge of that defense. I think when you have the likes of Matt Miazga being that center back piece, he's able to speak on behalf of everybody and control the chessboard. He's able to say, go here, I'll take this spot. And I think that's when you start seeing Celentano get his confidence, get his voice, that he's got somebody to help protect him on all sides. With the likes of, I think, Miles Robinson and anybody like maybe a Nick Haglund, they have talent or they have experience, and they don't have both. And unfortunately, if that window opens, I think Celentano is not a better player because of that. He really uses a lot of the leadership, and I think becomes a better leader bounced off of that. The other thing is he can't distribute the ball very well. When he boots the ball up the pitch, it's very high. You have to depend on the likes of Jabari and Denke to sort of have the height, have the lockdown to take the ball down. He's not exactly the best distributor upfield as, say, a Matt Turner or whoever else are the number 1 people on the national teams. I think once he's able to figure out how to distribute the ball better, he becomes probably the 2nd or 3rd guy on the U.S. team.
I wanted to mention something here because I also know. Well, I don't know where you want to go with this, Danny, and maybe I'll bring something up, and maybe you can piggyback off of it. But like at the center back position, like you guys have alternated between different players almost every game. And like, I don't know, Miazga and Miles Robinson, I feel like are both more than serviceable, good center backs, and I would assume a good center back pairing. I don't know if this translates into what you were about to say, Danny, but that's something that's really kind of shocked me. And I don't know if that's the reason that they're allowing goals at the same time and not pulling away with wins. I don't know if you could work with that there, Danny.
No. I agree. The consistency is key now, but with Cincinnati, I just didn't think it was the consistency in the back line. I thought that oftentimes it was the attack that felt like it was lacking. because I felt like they didn't really wake up until they had those
still
back-to-back
scoring,
games
though.
with Chicago and NYCFC. Because before then, I felt like the attack was almost it was just lacking. It wasn't explosive. I expected more. Then you had those Chicago and NYCFC games where you guys scored 7 goals, but you gave up 7 goals also.
Mhm.
But I felt like that was when things kind of started taking a turn.
I think the way that this season has started, I mean, they've got plenty of offense. They're second highest scoring offense in the East this season. They've got the ability. They've got talent. Even look at the likes of like Tom Barlow and Ayub Jabari. They've got size. They've got knowledge. They've got the ability to finish streaks up towards the goalkeeper. The problem that I'm thinking that they're getting sometimes is that they have not been healthy enough to reverse any sort of course. In the past, Obi Nwaburo had been their lockdown number 6. When he wasn't healthy, your lockdown number 6 had to be the likes of Brian Anunga, who every now and then he'll give you a great game. But if they're both experiencing difficulty, Obi has been injured for a few times this season. Anunga has not been his best self. You then have to depend on the likes of Samuel Gidi, who is more of an offensive threat, more of a distributing threat than a lockdown defender. And unfortunately, that leads to retreating and having to get the ball out of the box as soon as possible. And they just cannot reverse it. When they get a team that's 100% healthy, they figure out who their dependable players are, and they don't have to lean on the likes of Nick Hagglund starting every game. Then I think you start to see a team that starts to win 3-1 games, that they're not having these high scoring draws, that they start to put together leads and not have to come back and draw the game late like they've had to in the past.
Just real quick, what happened against Charlotte that you guys kind of just coughed that up?
I think you have to tip your hat to Charlotte. I think they have a good offense that can turn things around in the blink of an eye. Pep Biel is going to be their MVP. I think once Zaha takes off, I think they're going to find someone to take his spot, and they're going to find someone who wants to be in that spot. Toklamati has been surprisingly accurate. I just don't want to give ourselves all of the blame. I want to give Charlotte some of the credit there. They turned things around, and we were not ready for that. I also think that
do it, Jeff.
I also think
appreciate it because I wanted you to poo-poo on Charlotte, but okay.
I also think that for one thing, Miazga has only 60 minutes in him right now. That he's not 100%. So I think by the time that 60-minute hit, you subbed him out, you brought in Robinson, who himself, you're trying to make sure that he is the best person as possible for when he goes into the World Cup. And I think he had a groin issue. I think Robinson, you don't come back right away with that. So they're trying to play him in very careful. I think if Robinson was 100% healthy, I think you see Robinson and Miazga start these games, and maybe Andre Chirilla on the left. That I think would be the perfect version of this team. And it would also open up your opportunity to deal maybe some of these defenders and get some GAM, get some talent coming through the transfer window in the summer.
So Jeff, if I were to ask you what you
speak-
feel is the biggest weakness for Cincinnati, what would you say is probably the biggest weakness for Cincinnati?
Oh boy. I mean, the answer has been, they've had multiple answers for that this year. And going back to last year, going into the playoffs, you had, I think Denke and Evander not quite on the same page. And when that happened, Evander was not scoring. He was not getting assists. He was not involved in any of the production. And that sort of, I think, wandered into 2026. He had to leave the game against Atlanta early because of a knock. He was okay to come out of that, but he didn't look 100% right out the gate. And so I think that was one of the main issues coming out there, that you needed to have your best players starting out their best way from the preseason. Now that he's healthy, now that he and Denke are starting to talk to each other, you're starting to see the offense click. You're starting to see the way that they were supposed to be built. And now you're starting to see the weaknesses in other areas. Once again, the injuries in the back line. The fact that you've had to use the likes of Kyle Smith and Alvis Powell as starting center backs when that's not their natural position. If we can get ourselves to our healthiest version, I think we'll finally start clicking. I think you'll see that these minuscule issues that have hounded them through this first part of the season get resolved in a better way.
All right. Chris?
Now I want two guys, Jeff. I need two guys, other obviously than Denke and obviously Evander. I need two guys that stand out to you, or that would stand out to fans like us watching, where we kind of look and say, oof, this guy's really good. He could be problematic. Somebody that just kind of pops out like that.
Two guys. I wish we had more slots to use, because it seems like those two guys change every game. But I would say lock in right now. I'd say Dado Valenzuela. He has the talent to be a number 10. He's still very young. He's still very green in certain areas, but he has the talent to spread this ball around. They're starting to start him in the middle alongside the likes of either GD or Obi Nwobito when he's healthy. And they're starting to spread Pavel Buka to the right. And doing that, I think, has given Valenzuela the ability to come back and start plays when Evander's not available to start them. He's able to get in the way of passes. He's had some brilliant plays this year where he can flip the ball into the spot where we weren't expecting it to go. And I also mentioned this to Daniel in the green room in the back. If you need somebody to get fouled atop the box, he's your guy. He makes it look like he's lost a leg and he is like hobbling on like, 3 digits. Like he can take a foul, make it look great, and make the whistle operate by itself. If that happens, you set up a set piece where Evander can demolish it. That's one of his best things that he's known for in this team. Another person, it's hard because it changes every week, but I would probably say Pavel Buka. He has been quietly one of the better midfielders that we've had ever since 2024, where he will run and run and run, and you don't think he's running a lot. But then you look at the stats at the end of the game, he's gone like kilometers longer than anybody else in the team. He got taken down against Chicago. It looked like it took his foot off. We're like, oh no, he's dead. We're not going to have him for 2, 3, 4 months. He might miss the World Cup. He came back the next week and played 75 minutes. He is intelligent. He knows his spot on the field. If you ask him to play the right wing, he will play it, and he will play it well. And that one game against Red Bull at home, 2-0 win, it was his first start, I believe, in that spot. And nobody expected him to be there. They were leaving him wide open. The ball got to him, and he was able to maneuver out of it very quickly. I like that type of flexibility, the ability to sort of take what the coach is giving you and turn it into your baby. He knows how to play on this field, and he can connect with anybody. He's not a great post-match interview. His English is still a bit rusty, but he's like one of those players that you'll be like, I didn't know he was on the field, and yet he ran the longest out of everybody.
Are you guys still
in the last 4 matches? He's had an assist each game.
Yeah, that assist that he had gotten against Red Bull was him like sort of getting through his player and then finding Denke on the porch and just patting it over to him for the tap in. He's talented. He knows how to get to places. When it comes to him having to do everything, if Evander's having a bad game, if his defending center back, center midfield isn't doing the job, then he has to do a lot more, and that's where he starts to run down. So he can't do everything on the pitch.
You guys are halfway to the MLS record in red cards for a season. Is that something that you think Cincinnati is actively chasing?
If it means that we win 2 out of every 3 games, we get a red card, then maybe. I mean, the hidden joke has been, why don't we start every game with 10 guys?
With that 10 men?
Give ourselves the penalty, give ourselves the issue that we have to fight through. And then that way we win games because we have to find a new gear. Part of it is bad luck. I mean, I think Dado stepped on someone's game in the New England game, and he was out for 2 games because they thought it being aggressive.
Right.
I think that was more a mistake than it was aggressive. And then, part of it is also, the last one with Kyle Smith. He turned around and put his foot up in the air thinking there was nobody behind him. Guy bent his head down, and next thing you know, Robin Lode has a shiner that you just do not go uncarded for. So
that looked bad.
But in the past, this team hadn't been a red card team. This team had sort of, they would bleed yellow cards, but they would never get that second card. And now
Miami's leading the league in yellow cards, and you guys are, I think we're third, I want to say. Yeah. So you're like right there. So expect a lot of game stoppage on Sunday's match.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe that helps. Maybe it gives some of our guys a rest when they need it. It gives Evander to think a little bit more for the next spot, especially if it's a set piece. He's been very good at that recently. And I mean, if that's a sacrifice you have to make, to get as many yellow cards before the red card comes in, you take it. But part of it is just bad luck. I don't really want to see too many more red cards, but we've gotten lucky to get out with points when we've needed to.
No, you're halfway to history, so.
Well, so is San Diego, aren't they?
San Diego, I know Houston was doing pretty bad also as far as that goes.
Yeah, they are. They're pretty close.
Yeah, San Diego has had some bad details. I think they had 4 in a row as well.
Yeah. All right. So
yes,
I saw somebody write it here. There you go. Hypothetically, let's say you are a degenerate gambler.
Hypothetically?
Well, hey, I don't know. Is it legal in Ohio?
I mean, everybody's got the
bookie.
apps on their thing. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's the same thing as DraftKings and all that.
Florida didn't have it up until like a year or 2 ago, and it's only Hard Rock. Unless it's Hard Rock, there's we have no other way to bet.
Okay, let's go with the.
All right.
Yeah.
Degenerate gambler, and you decide to put the house on Miami. It's just for some reason you just feel like you put the house on Miami. Everything, your nice wall, that chair you're sitting in, your mic, everything, the hat included, everything's going on Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wednesday comes around and you're like, God darn it, I messed up. I shouldn't have done that. But that's it. Can't get my money back. Got to go make sure Miami wins. So you go over and you talk to Pat Noonan and you say, no, I'm sorry, not Pat Noonan. You talk to Hoyos, our scrub ass coach.
Guillermo Hoyos.
You go and you tell him, hey, this is how you beat Cincinnati. What are you telling him?
You think he's going to trust the media like me, though, man? I don't know.
That guy will take anything.
No, he doesn't. He's telling everybody to take care of Messi. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Lost.
It's tough because I don't really know what Miami's lineup's going to look like. I don't know how much you guys are going to rotate, or I mean, does Miami does Messi even make the flight?
Yeah, Messi will play.
Yeah, he'll make it.
Messi will play. It'll be Messi, Suarez, and Berterame probably up top, which basically means that it's 2 out of 3 players actually playing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say you need a spot to attack. I would say probably the left side. As much as Andre Chirilla is good at his position, he's still 17 years old. There are players on Miami that are twice their age. So you're going to have to attack that location, especially since I also think you can get into Brian Ramirez's head a little bit as well. He's a good defending left wing back. It's something that we haven't really had in Cincinnati for a while. But he has not gotten off the schneid. He has not been able to show that he can be that offensive smoke as well as defensive player. And so because of that, I think he's easier to attack. It doesn't mean that he's slower getting back like the likes of Luca Orishano or Alvaro Barrial were. But I do think that that's where the confidence lacks the most. If you attack the right side, you've got the likes of Nick Hagland, maybe Miles Robinson if he starts there. That's experience back there. They know they've played the likes of Miami and Messi and all of these attackmen that you've got. They're experienced there. I think you attack the left and you see how you can penetrate before you push it into the middle, and hope that the likes of Samuel Gidi, if he starts, that he's not able to communicate as well with the center backs, and they mess up. They left someone unguarded, and the likes of Suarez or Bertorama are able to hammer it in.
Bertrame can't do anything. Miami, to beat Miami, I feel like playing a low block helps. I feel like playing a compact, just clogging the middle and forcing Miami wide is the way to go, because they have nobody that can work the ball in from the outside. They don't have anybody that's necessarily good at crossing the ball in. And when you kind of force it and funnel everything outside, Miami tends to try to force the situation inside. And it's basically a three-man game between Segovia, Messi, and Suarez. They're trying to break down that back line, and it's very difficult, especially when they put 2 or 3 men on Messi. Now, we've talked about Inter Miami over the last couple of weeks, and it's not that they have a good run of play, but they have moments. They have Messi magic at points, right? Where they don't have many opportunities, but they take advantage of the few that they get, because they're
Rodrigo de Paul volley.
Yeah, they're not playing smooth. They're not playing great. You don't like, we scored 4 against Toronto. I thought that it was a poor first half, but they took advantage of 4 good moments. And I think that's what we're seeing with Miami right now. Is there any chance that Cincinnati kind of holds a low block or just kind of plays that compact defense? I know you only play with 3 in the back, but that Cincinnati takes that approach on Wednesday.
I think they'll definitely take a back 3 approach. I mean, that's how they've buttered their bread.
Right.
It's just a matter of they're not going to
bunker down and play the counter.
I guess who is healthy enough or able to after they've played this game on Saturday, that they're okay enough to play on Wednesday for 90 minutes. It might be one of those things where you see they try to roll the dice with Miazga a little bit more than 60 minutes. They try to roll the same dice with Miles Robinson for 90.
Yeah.
Do you start looking at the likes of Gilberto Flores, who has done okay on all 3 spots? It's going to depend on really who Pat Noonan has confidence in, and that's going to be the big question with his staff, who he trusts the most against Miami's really good offense.
And that's one thing that I was talking to. We had a TFC Unplugged on with us last week, and they echoed kind of similar to what you said. Miami's very good offense. We don't have a good offense. It's very overrated.
Yeah,
because
it's
we
moments.
Depend on because we have Messi, for example. How many assists does he have this year, Chris? I know he finally got one, but he has the highest expected XA. You know how XG for goals assists. He was leading the league, and at the last time we checked that he was leading the league, he had 0 assists in the season. We don't have anybody finishing consistently. Luis Suarez is great for creating for himself and others, but he can't seem to finish like he used to. Berterame can't finish at all. Allende is just like, he just spits up all over himself. Like, I don't know what that guy's doing. So it's like it's unfortunate, because our attack, I think some people might think that it's better than it actually is, and I think you might be surprised when you watch us on Wednesday, unless you guys just poop the bed defensively. But for the most part, it's not as good as people think.
I mean, the good news is that
Messi has
home,
4 assists.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous because of Messi, obviously, but it's not as good as people think.
I mean, if I recall last year, Suarez was not starting for you guys in these pressure games in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, no, they benched them.
And so you're sacrificing football. You're sacrificing experience. You're sacrificing the game that has dominated internationally. But you brought in talented kids that can really give you, I think, a little bit more pressure, a little bit more urgency. And I think the reason that you guys beat the pants off us the last time was not because Messi finally figured out how to score against us, but that you had the likes of Allende and Segovia and Silvetti finding their chops. And I'm kind of surprised that they haven't found their chops this year. Because it's a short week, maybe you start to see Suarez and maybe even Bertarame come on in halftime instead of starting this game.
I really thought
That would be-
Silvetti has been the missing piece because he's been injured a lot. We haven't seen him much. And like I said, we don't have much out wide. I think when he comes back, we're a much more dangerous team because I'm not a fan of the whole Berterame and Suarez starting because they don't play the two up top. One of them goes wide and they alternate, and it's not good. Neither one of them can play out wide.
Sometimes I look at it and it's more like their notoriety gets them goals. That for some teams, they're just, you see all of these goals that from the past coming at you, talent that have, ripped up record sheets. And I think sometimes that alone gets you 2-3 goals in a game. It's not pretty, but I think notoriety, sometimes you can ride on that. I just don't know how long you can do that.
Agreed. Chris, you were going to say something? I'm sorry, I cut you off last time.
I was just going to say Segovia leads the team with 7 assists from what I see here on the stats. And Rodrigo de Paul follows him with 5 and then Messi with 4.
I wonder how many of those are secondary assists.
But I don't understand assists at all in MLS.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Segovia having 7 assists is kind of wild to me. But prediction time. Jeff, how do you see this one ending on Wednesday?
Oh boy. Definitely not 0-0. I don't see 0-0 at all in this one. If you're going to have a crooked number, it's not going to be a 0. I want to be positive and say 3 points on our side, but I would be comfortable if it was a draw. I think it's going to be like a 2-2 game.
With the way that the season's been, of course you guys would be comfortable with a draw, Jeff.
I think it's I mean, this is going to be the best opponent that we've faced at home. We haven't had a lot of home games to start this season. So getting 3 points out of this would be good, but getting any sort of result against a team that's expected to be the best, I think that's a win in itself. Part of it is also, what direction does that draw come from? Are they up 2-0 and they give up 2 goals like they've done before in the U.S. Open Cup?
That Charlotte game, I'm assuming, feels almost like a loss.
Yeah, that definitely was a loss because after those 10 minutes that we came out the gate and didn't play very well, we settled down and looked much better on defense. Granted, we didn't put a lot of offense the other direction, but Charlotte were comfortable just to get that point.
Charlotte scored those 2 goals in a span of what, like 90 seconds?
Almost, yeah, almost.
Yeah,
it was.
Once
again, I find that it was probably old legs maybe getting tired, and perhaps Noonan not making a halftime decision to sub somebody in.
Chris, prediction.
So prediction, Danny. Look, Rubita says it best here. I don't know. Inter Miami is unpredictable. We took our first loss to Orlando at new stadium. They officially are rivals, have the first win ever in our brand new stadium. Then we were kicking the pants off of Toronto, and even at the end, they started scoring goals. So this is very scary to me. Now, I want to put up a prediction up here because Mike V is saying we're winning this one 1,971-2, which means that according to Mike V's math, we would need to bang in 22 goals per minute. Okay.
You notice that
Seems
nobody
possible.
picks a clean sheet,
Maybe.
right? Jeff, nobody picks a clean sheet.
Well,
We can't
nobody's
do it.
picking
We
a
just
clean
can't.
sheet with us either. You know, that's the way it is.
Well, even though you guys are what, second
Well,
or
I
third
mean, I
in the
hate
league in scoring?
Salentano.
I think once again, when the defense gets healthier, you'll start seeing more clean sheets.
I hate Salentano. Dane St. Clair needs to step it up big time. And I think it's going to be 3-2 Inter Miami wins. I'm going to go with the Inter
3-2.
Miami win this time,
Okay.
Danny, because it's away. This Saturday, when we're playing against Ill Phil and the Portland Timbers, I might
Sunday.
toot a different horn.
Oh boy,
Or Sunday, yes.
That's good. That's gonna be fun having Phil back in his old stomping grounds.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, how loud are the boos gonna be?
I'm wearing my Phil Neville shirt.
You know what? I don't think
I'm going to
anybody
cheer.
hates on him
I
anymore.
might take my shirt off.
I will say, like, as much as you say Orlando, got the first win in your new stadium, you guys do realize you have the first win in TQL Stadium.
We did not. I didn't realize that at all.
Oh, I
back
didn't know that.
back in 2021 when we
Is that
opened
Breck
up.
Shea?
That was the Breck Shea.
Yeah.
Higuain got a brace in that one and got the winning goal. You guys have, as much as you're like, oh, Orlando scored on us and took the first
but
win at our new stadium.
I'm sure that
we're just as mad that you guys took the first win at our stadium.
I'm sure you'd rather it be us than Columbus, though.
That's true. That's true. But we didn't like Breck Shea very much back then. It was just like one of those things like, oh, this guy scored on us again. And how many goals has he had in his career?
Yeah, Breck Shea, for some reason, used to enjoy playing against Cincinnati.
I don't even think it was like, I think he scored even before he was with you guys against us.
Yeah.
But then again, so did everybody back in 2019 and 2020.
No, yeah. Cincinnati was pretty bad. All right. So you said 3-2. I'm going to go 3-1. Miami's not playing at home. Cincinnati has given up. They've scored 24 goals, but I believe they've given up like 27. Like, defensively, it's been rough. You guys score, but you let the other team score also. So I'm going to go on a limb just because I feel like everybody's going to keep milking this whole new stadium curse. We're going to keep winning. So we're going to win again on Wednesday. And then once we come back on Sunday, here come the voodoo dolls and all that other stuff.
Okay. Over under on yellow cards. Let's call it at 4.5.
Oh, combined?
Over.
Maybe,
over. I'm going over.
Let me adjust. We'll make it 5.5.
I'm doing over.
I can see 3 for one, 2 for the other. Well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing over. I'm taking the over on that easy.
Yeah. No, you know what?
Luis Suarez is going to guarantee yellow card.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go at 5. I think it'll be 5.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I just don't think there are going to be so many that it's going to cloud judgment.
No.
And whether one of those turns into a red card, we'll see.
We've yet to get a red card, have we, Chris? All right. We haven't got anybody sent off yet?
No.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you should try it. It's good to get a red card and have like a win come out of the column from that.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no. Yannick Bright was given a red card,
that's
no?
Right.
That's right.
That's right.
That was like a late red card or something like that.
Yes, that was a late red card. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. That's right. I forgot about that. And then we had Segovia suspended a game for having 5 yellow cards. So we're racking up the yellow cards. Yep.
I can say that we'll at least be the most healthy that we've been all season. I think we're getting one of our forwards back after a small little knock that held him out on Saturday. You're going to get us the healthiest we've ever been this season. So crossing our fingers on that too.
Well, as long as we don't give Evander a chance to just pick out a corner like Charlotte did, I think we'll be okay. And that's what Yannick Bright is in charge of.
Defense sucks.
Yannick Bright is going to be the one that's basically shadowing Evander everywhere he goes, probably. So,
yeah, usually.
We'll see. Yes, we'll see how that goes. All right, Jeff, appreciate you joining us on such short notice. Please let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, they can. They can find Cincinnati Soccer Talk go to our website, CincinnatiSoccerTalk.com. I'll depend on you guys to spell Cincinnati right. It's shown down here. It's 2 N's and 1 T, not 1 N and 2 T's.
I
Spell it
struggle
right,
with that
guys.
every time.
Come on, guys. You can go to Cincy Soccer Talk, which is our social handle, CINCY Soccer Talk. We're on X, we're on Blue Sky, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. And then check out our thing on YouTube. Find me at we do have a Hard Rock here at Cincinnati. I'll say that much.
Well, there you go.
Great. It's great to be there when no one else is expected to be there. So yeah, check us out on Monday nights. We're live right now on our YouTube station, and check out Jersey Swap, which is my personal podcast under the umbrella. We bring in the opposition, talk about how they look going into this game and their predictions. Kind of a lot like what you guys are doing tonight.
Right, and we appreciate you joining us for that.
Nice.
And I wish you nothing but the worst of luck on Wednesday.
Hey, if you're wishing the worst of luck on us, that means we've gotten a red card and we're winning 4-3.
Chris, any final words?
There are 4 queen cities in the state of New York.
Okay.
Buffalo being
You
one
said
of them.
Buffalo.
In Buffalo, Elmira, New Rochelle,
New Rochelle.
and
Okay.
New Rochelle.
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie.
Oh, my
What
goodness.
the heck? All right.
Those were they like the 4 queens from Henry VIII? Is that what they were named after? Horrible
Random.
places to be queen cities. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And for those of you that want some more football talk, we're going to be going on with Battered Soccer Show in a couple minutes, just recapping match day 12. Chris, I hate you. Jeff, you are the best. Appreciate you joining us. And we'll be back for the post game Wednesday night. If you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, if you're on here live right now, make sure you hit that like button. Helps us a ton. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we'll be back on Wednesday for the post game. And again, in a couple of minutes, talking match day 12. So until the next one, have a good one.